Welcome back.
Back in Cleveland, what you gonna call it? Oh. Okay, yeah. We're back in Cleveland, and since when? What was that?
July
8th, 7 and 8, yeah. And you can always tell. I don't even have to ask. I know doggone well black people cause a lot of hell in Cleveland. I don't even have to ask. I know that. Why? Because it's something spiritual. I know anytime I go to a place where black people got their ass whipped or somewhere, it's always a big energy. And I go to Detroit, it's always off the hook. You know damn well Detroit done went through some problems. But it's always real powerful and off the hook. You can always tell. You know, South Carolina, you know, the crackers that don't love us down there, it's the same way. Atlanta, I get a little dissipated energy. I get some good energy. Sometimes I get a lot of other kind of energy because Atlanta is the only place in the country where everybody is not from Atlanta. Most of the people that's from Atlanta leave Atlanta, but all the people that's in Atlanta is the movers and shakers are from someplace else. So it's a front capital. They go there, hide the skeletons in the closet in the whole front capital. So you can tell the actual energy. You can tell the actual energy. And so there's several energy, and you can actually feel it wherever you go. Wherever you go, Florida is real good because they don't love black people down in Florida. There's some deep stuff. So Orlando is off the hook, Jacksonville is off the hook, and you just actually get different energy. One thing about it is it's almost like clockwork. Wherever I go with black people, it's like if I go there for the first time, it's almost like I've been going there for like 10 times. And Brother C. Freeman, what they call him here, Marty, he used to be here. One of my teachers taught me meditation down in Atlanta, said, well, you know, we all once knew each other in a past life, and that's what this thing is actually registering with. We only agreeing to do what we set out to do years ago. You see what I'm saying? Your obligation into the spiritual aspect of becoming entities or becoming pristine gods. And basically that's the end result, is getting back to that particular realm or that particular plateau that we were ousted from, if you want to put it some type of way. So first thing what we need to do is just pull libations, and then we can get this thing going. I got a few of these. I just found them so I'm glad I got them here. People with financial problems. This is some stuff coming from Haiti. Lucky Hoodoo secrets of getting numbers that win, so that's the lotto thing, and Lucky Hoodoo ways of attracting big money. So I don't have but so many, but I tell you what, you can buy them up and then you can Xerox them for your friends. This is some stuff, some voodoo rituals on attracting big money, and also the numbers that win. So some people have some real good luck out of these things, and I've sold them across the country. So I got a few, and I just found them today, so which is good. Also for you sisters, we got some good love rituals for you and stuff, because it's very key at this particular time. Because that's one thing that's going on. We got down there something like 17 million black women, maybe 20 million black women that can't find no mate. And this is unfortunate because we understand that a black woman strives when she's in love. So also the brothers, we take this light and stuff, but I'm going to tell you something. When you really get into some stuff, and I'll go into some of this science there on the heart chakra and all, you really don't even start to even tap into some higher stuff until you really experience this type of love. The key here is, and I'm not talking about just because we use this word so much, but I'm talking about something on a whole other level, and I think this is what the sisters was driving to, where you have to neutralize the ego to even go into this particular realm, where you just flow a certain way, and all. So we will be dealing with this particular aspect. So now, we probably give out a good ritual. Did I give out the one the last time? The one with the honey?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that one. Yeah, we'll get that one again. Did anybody use it?
I did.
Yeah, well, I don't know how the hell you needed it for a check. Now that she planning on coming in the backyard on you with some other, with Jody, I think Jody gonna show up. But I have an ex-girlfriend that really got down with this thing, and the results have been astonishing. And I called her up, I said, so how's everything going? She said, Nirvana. which means. So this is some things also too. That's somebody for everybody. But on the other also too, we got to understand this particular thing too. We can't be asinine to put our standards so damn fucking high until you just out yourself out of something. Now come on, work with us here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now you can't be no idiot to think in actuality that everybody is going to get a doggone Maxwell. That ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? So I think also too that the black woman has a grandeur of delusion. What they call grandeur of delusion. You delusional on this state. You know what I'm saying? You got to get some stuff to work with here also too, you know. So we talking about within means and reason. Everybody's not going to get no Maxwell or whoever the hell you think in your mind that you like so much, a Denzel or whatever the hell. Let us be reasonable about this stuff here. And I have to preface this, I told her this in California, and I don't throw, and I think I told you the last time too, now don't put it on me now. I have the actual, literally, this is going real bad, I have the actual financial structure of a damn ninth grader. So your ass will be in Atlanta working for my ass. Working hard. Working for me because I'm telling you. I don't think I worked at all last month. You know what I'm saying? And basically, no bank account or no nothing and stuff. So we just talking about whatever I can scrounge up on a daily basis and stuff. So we really talking some really financial destitute here when it comes to me. You know, so you know, you're at your own risk. You will be shoveling some shit down in Atlanta. Riding some fucking forklifts and stuff. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go with the, what we're going to go, let's go with the, I'm going to do this and I'm going to play the water bill also too, because I've been drinking a lot of liquid to stay awake for some reason, just to get pumped up. But anyway, I'm going to give them their liquid, and we're going to pour to the Congo rites, which is probably the most powerful rites on the planet. Most powerful rights on the planet and stuff like this. And these rowdy bugs, they don't want to share no space with nobody. They don't play that. They're pure, pristine, dark energies. In the aspect that you don't understand what dark energies is. This means that in actuality, when all things fail, these kick ass. And let me tell you, this is the stuff that the Yoruba got rid of. Because those are light energies, and in so many words, they're only going to go but so far, but they cannot get the job done on a major level, but they are healing, and so this is not necessarily a disrespect or anything like that, no, because the only thing we're talking about is energies in our body. But what we're talking about here, they do a lot of the major healing and stuff like that. This stuff here really takes care of business and stuff, killing somebody in 24 hours. And all, but we're also talking about a certain energy now because we are on the offensive based on warfare. Serious, serious situations bring on serious measures. And also too, so these Congo rites is the most powerful on the doggone planet. I wouldn't advise even screwing around with them because you might not be able to come in your own damn house if you don't see fit. You see what I'm saying and all? Because they will keep a Negro out your house, and if you ain't pure of heart, and most people got ulterior motives, you want to be able to come back in your own damn house, messing with these fools here. And you know. But anyway, we want to deal with that type of stuff because the simple fact is we have remote viewers, and we have all types of agents and stuff like that. They come to these particular events. You know what I'm saying? We got people spying in, so we pour our libations and all to block that wall and stuff like that. Say if you invite 100 people, 85 of them be damn agents. So, but in actuality, we are living in those types of times. Right. You see, and I've just seen just the 2000, just a little things change after being on the circuit for 8 years, going all over the country. I've seen some things happen in 2000. Real Operation Dirty Tricks and all types of things that started happening. You see, that didn't happen before. But I don't really worry about it and all this type of stuff here, but all this type of stuff. But I'm just saying with other people out there who's not as evil as I am, have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen some things actually happen and all this type of stuff. So we're battling with some real deal powerful boys now and all. So, you know, they're just waiting to just tear up some stuff. So we're going to give them their due for the power that blocks this stuff out. You know what I'm saying? So we won't have no problem with the government or no kind of crazy Negroes and all this type of stuff here also. So let's deal with this. And I'll do with the plant with them, and then we'll go with the bucket with the rest of them. Larabanda, I say. Chris the Negro. I say. I say to Mr. Woodred. I say. Ramashala. I say. Simon. I say to Mr. Peter Eman. I say. Spiritus in Tranquillus. I say. Madre de la Luna. I say. Francisco de Reyes. I say. El Cristo Rey. I say. Madre de Agra. I say. Misa, I say. All right. I want to deal with that. Let me get another list. Pull this. Get another list. And what I can do is this is a list compiled by the brother that put the tapes together. The CDs, and this is Imhotep production. Now, he took it off of my videos. He took it off my videos and stuff. So this was a libation. This was because I didn't. And we could have printed some of these damn things and say, 200 of them, just stupid. But I tell you what we'll do. We'll leave it behind.
I'll copy of everybody sign that list.
Boom.
Make sure you get a copy.
Anybody sign the list, make sure you get a copy. That's good too, because you need to put yourself on the mailing list, because I got a newsletter coming out and other information, my tapes and all the other information. So if you want to keep in contact with me also, they're going to give me the mailing list from Atlanta, and I got a newsletter that's being put together. Me and a sister named Deborah, who is a sister that's a part of my group called Arkansas, which is basically she's the president of and the founder of. And I came on board with her in the spring of the year. And basically what we did is we took my library. I had a major library of tapes that was stuff that was from all over the country. And we put all that stuff together. They got several people selling the tapes all around the country. But I'm talking about stuff that nobody got, there's one-time lectures and stuff. So this is like the bulk of the stuff and all this. Probably, when we get through, we up to maybe 150, 160, but it's well over 250 lectures at 8 hours long. In 6 hours, and a minimum of 5 hours. So it was a lot of stuff over the 8 years and stuff. So we came together. The sister's name is Deborah Morris, and we came together and archived all this stuff, and as a result, and named it Arkansas. So we have that particular stuff. So but there's a newsletter coming out and other stuff. So if you want to give me sign up with the list, and also it will give you one of these also too. Which is the libation list. Remember, you pour your libations also to activate the energies inside of you. The key to this whole thing is these entities that you're thinking is out here is not out here. They're only on the inside of you. That is the universe, and the only universe there is the inner planes. And it's on the inside of you also, too. So let's pour libations, and that's my water, sir. And get some energy up in here. You know the drill. Sophia, I say. Diana, I say. Oshosi, I say. Olakun, I say. Oshun, I say. Now we got to do some loud ones now to get the energy pumped up. Lilith, I say. Amin Ra, I say. I say. I say. I say. I say. I say. See them on the list. Remember, I'm ad-libbing. So, as a though, I say, as a heel, I say, Okay. Okay. Takim. I say chakra. I say heart. I say chakra. I say helium. I say shingo. I say vishnu. I say maranya. I say inga. I say rita. I say alapi. I say anikutu. I say koshika. I say koshiyoko. I say mercury. I say raheri. I say nut. I say bed. I say bad. I say bell. I say anu. I say maya. I say ase. I say bolivia. I say sunday. I say anbu. I say envy. I say hera. I say oya. I say angel. I say bana. I say naka. I say anuba. I say adulua. I say alula. I say rula. I say mancheka. I say kabali. I say malika. I say karima. I say cricket. I say ship. I say nothing. I say okumbrele. I say mojo walapi. I say mojo apabe. I say tutu leba. I say kokita. I say kokima. I say nikamaki. I say akababawaya. I say mojo walapi. I say kisam koki indina. I say cat. I say nothing. I say no. I say akala. I say bad. I say tui. I say shuri. I say kai. I say shiva. I say oma. I say oma. I say demala. I say gargo. I say laki. I say maleka. I say pan. I say supe. I say jamu. Tomorrow. I say ibitutu. I say shahu. I say adan. I say sutin. I say satya. I say ariel. I say Amphibious. I say Beelzebub. I say Dial. I say White Buffalo. I say Dragon. I say Demogorgon. I say Hemmitt. I say Midnight. I say Novo. I say Siva. I say Pakwa. I say Sisha. I say Ba. I say Ka. I say Andra. I say Apollyon. I say Doret. I say Shuma. I say Shima. I say Sundo. I say Jogan. I say Nimia. I say Kali. I say Oya. I say Belvete. I say Nina. I say Lalakin. I say Nishan. I say Ramil. I say Naja. I say, all right. Okay. And since it's my kind of lecture, I can go and take a piss. Because you know my shit is unorthodox. Only my stuff. So let me go do that and I'll put you.
No, go ahead.
You ready? You got it all?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, we back. It's interesting here because something happened. I lost my license about 2 weeks ago. My license from South Carolina, and I live in Georgia, so I couldn't just run down and get some. I have to go to South Carolina and get some. And I'm hoping they mail them to my mama's house or whatever. But anyway, it was interesting because so what I did was I called down to the airline because you can't get on the doggone plane. You see, now, and it's interesting because before the Oklahoma bombing, you could get on a plane, if somebody give you a ticket, you could fly it on. But the Oklahoma bombing, they passed about 400 laws off of that one bombing that the government staged just to pass these security laws. You see what I'm saying? Just to pass these security laws. So it's interesting here. So what I did was Thursday I went down and got a police report to say that my wallet was stolen. You know what I'm saying? And I had old ID. I mean, I had some high school ID from fucking 76. Now, what fool is gonna that's greater than current ID. If a brother got some high school ID from 76, that means he's got to be legit. I had some college ID. You know, I had a checkbook, and you know that's defunct. And a debit card, you know that's defunct. The point here is, I had all of this, and when I got down there, they said, well, you know, we don't know. You still got to have two forms of state ID and all this crazy stuff. So when I got down there, I had to use some magic. I had to call on them boys and stuff to make things go right. But the point I'm trying to make is that these fools said that a doggone police report was not good enough. Now let's say I'm in Cleveland and somebody literally steals my wallet. Like, I'm going to find out if we are in America. It is possible that people are still stealing damn wallets in America. Right? Pickpocketing and stuff, right? So I want to know what logic is it if you let's just say if I was in Cleveland and somebody legitimately stole my wallet at a mall or a fairground or wherever the hell it was. And I went made out a police report. And it didn't have any current ID and no state ID because the ID was in the wallet. So they was like, do you have a social security number, 2 forms of state? I said, all that's in the doggone wallet. But the police report is no good. You see, and so basically what this thing is telling you, although I did get on the plane, but what they're saying here is this thing is literally New World Order. Because what you have here is the same thing that you have where you have, you know, you see them doggone movies where they say, where's your papers? Get past the checkpoint. You know, police state and all, but we're saying, you know, literally, this is where it starts. It doesn't start with some doggone people declaring martial law. It's the law itself. You see? And basically, they create a doggone reaction, and the next thing you know, they take more laws, and before you know it, you are literally in martial law. But martial law doesn't come as something that is forced upon you. It becomes a social way of life.
Exactly.
That over the course of 2 or 3, 4, 5 years, you have literally manifested this by giving away more shit because of paranoia. And you know that they use these laws. The majority of these laws are passed with black people. So they can even get the so-called white people to go along with passing anything if it's a couple of niggas out here doing some stuff that white people are scared of. And now since you all are scared of your own children, you pass these doggone laws also. So this is, so literally when we look up and all, and so we don't, and we don't even question these things, whereas it's the thing whereas we might go, well, you know you have to have it. You know what I'm saying? You know you have to have it. You know, you don't even question it. It's the same, you know.
Right.
You know, it's just amazing. But it's socialized, and that's how this thing happens. It's a social pattern that is put on you in such a smooth manner until you don't even question the damn thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now, you know what? This is interesting here because the white man is saying, if you oppose him in any form or fashion, because now, do you know that thought, I think I might have talked about this last time, that thought now on the planet is European. Anything outside of European thought is not even considered thought. So this means that you can't even oppose him on anything. You're not even legitimate if you oppose him. And they have convinced the world, including black people, that you're not even legitimate if you oppose him. So therefore, if you say anything against the European way of life, that you already put in this clan, this death time group of people. Well, that's them crazy-ass people over there. Because he has literally colonized thought on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? And you got the entire planet of all darker-skinned people literally in retreat from their culture, literally going into this particular thing, hands down and with eyes closed, and accepting shit, you see. And this is what they're talking about when they talk about that globalization shit. They're not talking about no internet, they're talking about thought. I'll tell you another thing also, too, about the internet. Internet is fine to get information. But let me tell you how this thing is going to work. This Y2K thing, it wasn't about no computer shutting down and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, we walked up on Morris Brown campus and Clark Atlanta campus and pressed the computer, and the shit came on. Now, hell, if anybody know anything about black colleges, if anything going to be incompatible, it's going to be on a damn black college campus. And I knew when that computer came on Clark's yard that you knew that was the biggest hope since fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sure was.
You see what I'm saying? Now, there's a mystery to this Y2K thing that needs to be broken. Well, what was it about? Why is it you went and bought up all the damn water and so we couldn't get no water for 2 weeks? Did y'all see this shit here? I don't know. But in Atlanta, you couldn't find no water. But that old drinking water. And that old nasty shit, you know, the spring water and the still water was gone. They had that old drinking water. You might find 1 or 2 bottles of that. But literally, you couldn't even find that. But so what was it? And there's a mystery to be broken here. And this is the mystery. This is a mystery that they put out amongst themselves. And that is this. These people who started on this internet in 1994, they got in on the ground level. They immediately got rich. They showed all these people that got in and started doing the businesses in 1994, 1995, mainly 95, 96. They became instant millionaires. Okay? The Y2K thing was saying, listen, after 1999, in the year 2000, you can't become a millionaire on the internet. That was what the Y2K thing was about. It's about the computer shutting down, because what they meant was this. Those people that got in on the ground level and became millionaires, they had all these shows about how these people became rich on the internet. So what happened was, it's just like the on Wall Street. You got to get in on the thing before nobody believes in it and take the chances. But once the hard item, everybody want to go to Microsoft. Now it's too fucking late. Your shit is like a penny. You see? So what happened was that they was advertising all these people that had gotten in on the internet and got rich. Then all of a sudden, that's the way your mind thinks. You're going to run and jump on the internet. And what happens is you got thousands and thousands and millions of people jumping on it at one time. And now you get swallowed under. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you mash the word black bitches and get serious business. Think of, you mash black bitches, and you might get damn 4 million damn links.
Yeah.
Seriously. I'm not, this is not a joke. I got a friend, Rod, that said, man, I typed in black bitches and got 4 million links.
4 million websites.
Websites. But I'm trying to say, like Deborah said, I tapped in Afro's black consciousness, Afrocentric consciousness, a black consciousness organization, and she said she got 1 million sites. So what happens is you are like, your business is like a needle in a haystack now. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, you can advertise your website, but as far as you getting rich by just entering your thing, I'm going to get a web page and I'm going to get paid, it ain't going down that way. That's what the Y2K thing was. You had to get in on the ground level. And after that, you get swallowed over. You see? You get swallowed under. Get swept under. You see what I'm saying? Because there's so many people own it now. And that's what this whole thing is about. Also, this white boy with this capitalistic system now, if you really think about it, and this is why the whole Hindu thing talks about how Krishna comes back to free people from materialism. Not only the material existence of Maya there in Matrix, but materialism, because it is a cancer and it is a way of life, and you can't think past it. Now, do you know that this white boy system? Now think about it and be honest. He's got a system now, if you don't have money, you're not even human. Think about it. The system now is going so out of whack until capitalism is such the order of the day, until, in actuality, if you don't have money, you're not even human. You're not even human. You see what I'm saying? And so this is a sign of how severe this thing has got. You see what I'm saying? And so therefore the person that's on the street, he's not even a human being. You see? And so this is how deep this European machine has permeated the minds of people. Take this, I had this sister. I think I was sitting in the bed one Sunday. This sister called me. I used to go with this sister, about 14 years ago. Real beautiful model babe. And I used to go with this sister about 14 years ago. And so she moved to Atlanta. She's from South Carolina. She moved to Atlanta. She called me up one Sunday. This was back in probably either the beginning of August or the end of July. I think it was like the beginning of August. And she said, hey, what you doing? I said, well, I'm just chilling. I'm just sitting in the bed, just chilling, you know. I was on the phone. And I clicked over and I said, so what's up? She said, well, hey, why don't we just go eat? She said, let's go to the Cheesecake Factory. And that's a place in Atlanta, it's everybody goes there. Now, that valet parking around, but at best, you can basically eat a meal. I mean, if you really, you can basically get away with, what, $15, $20 Dutch. I mean, it's because, high end or whatever, stuff like that. Shit. You figure both of you all, you see about $45, $50. Okay. So I had like $75, $80 in my pocket. And she said, why don't we go to the Cheesecake Factory? And the spirit whispered in my ear right there. They said, tell them motherfucker you ain't got no money. So I got the line. So I didn't say I was broke. I gave a legitimate excuse. I had a knot in my pocket, about $85, maybe more. I could call my brother up the street and got another 20. Well, it's on the so this is spirit saying, tell her you don't have no money. Say something happened or whatever. I said, you know what I said? My brother just called a few minutes ago, about 30 minutes ago, and his car broke down, and I gave him $75. And I said, I'm not gonna have. I said, it's a Sunday. I'm not gonna have no money till tomorrow morning, and when he goes to the bank or whatever. Immediately she said, we can go Wednesday. Now, first of all, we were supposed to be going Dutch, okay? She said, we can go Wednesday. And I said, now I'm looking at this, and this was what was fucked up about it. Then immediately she followed was, you know, you have a very loving and giving heart. And I said, damn, I do. But I probably put out the red carpet for her about 14 years ago. And when I started thinking back, I said, oh yeah, that's right, I did wine and dine your ass. But I said, no, wait a minute, let's look at the psychological ramifications here. I used to wine and dine your ass about 14 years ago to the point, enough to the point you say I'm a very loving and giving person. And yeah, I give you a legitimate excuse. You see what I'm saying? That my brother came and got all this money, and I'm sitting up here. I said, I got like $3 to my name. You see what I'm saying? And immediately, you see the mentality, the psychological conditioning that our people are fucked up with it? Yeah. Now here's a man that you say got a loving heart and has done good by your ass and used to goddamn paint the town with your ass about 14 years ago. And because it's a male, see the psychological conditioning here? Because it is a male and he doesn't have the money right there and I gave you a legitimate excuse, you already gonna front on my ass. Yeah. Now I had the money in my pocket, but the spirit say, see, you gotta see how deep this rabbit hole is going with your fucking people. You see what I'm saying? You see the psychological mess we are in, and then you understand why the cracker kick us up the ass, and then we tell them, what the fuck up? Why we doing this shit here? And you don't understand that this ain't nothing but some shit that you just throw back on your behind. Reversal. If you want to say there's some karma, we create the karma on our damn self. You see what I'm saying? And I'm looking at this thing saying, you know, this is, and I had the money in my pocket. I had about $85. It wouldn't have been no problem. I was getting some more money the next day. You understand what I'm saying? But just the mentality. For the simple fact that she is taught that this is taboo. That here's a person that is giving you, and because he's a male, for some doggone reason, you see what I'm saying? That I have crossed the fucking line for a fucking $20 damn meal. You know what I'm saying? Or probably less than that. Maybe $14, $15. Fuck it, you throw in the tip. But see, this is where we're going. We love that money, and now our ass is in trouble. Now you said, I don't know. We're not talking about money as a utility. See, money is supposed to be utilitarian only. But whenever you psychologically become non-human because of some ducats in your pocket, but you can't see humanity in a person that's got a good heart, then you fucked up. You see what I'm saying? And this is what has become the masses of our people. You see what I'm saying? We'll do anything for money. You see, it's like that, what's his name? He got a damn buck dance. Will Smith got this shit coming out of a movie, The Legend of Bagger Vance and stuff. He an old homo nigga. You know, doing some old homo movie with the white boys, the golf pro. And all that says superior piece. Why the fuck you gonna take some more dumb shit? That's like that driving Miss Daisy shit. You see, but we'll do anything. But then again, that was a part of the deal for him to get all the dogs. Before you can, right after you blow up the alien in Independence Day, just remember that you got to do this butt dancing roll. Well, you already done got screwed up the butt in 6 degrees of separation. But we're talking about our people are doggone savages. You see, there's not me funny with this doggone mess when you really look at this thing. And we're talking about on the flip side of that, we're talking about, we know now we're talking about another plateau. Now, we're not telling you to doggone abandon what you're doing and go out and get you a long robe and some sandals and walk around like Moses out there. We're not saying that. We're talking about within reason, but we're also talking about here that you should be looking for another alternative all the time. And don't just put yourself in a box and think that the only thing I can deal with is just the physical. Now, we're talking about a balance here, but we're also talking about here also that shit. Death is the fucking crown jewel. You see? Death is the crown jewel when you really look at this foolishness. Now, it's interesting because now we talk about, we know, and you probably heard me times talk about the whole cloning thing. And they've been cloning humans since 1945. And shoot, let me well, I gave them some here, but let me do this with this. I did this last night, so we give them some miles rum. Yeah. That's 4 ways, and basically that clears out everything. And like I said last night, these spirits, they tend to love this. I think because it's made the same way it was intended to be made. Well, I guess that'll fry up. It was made. They sell on the back how they make it. They've been making it the same way since 1879. So it's also telling you that the stuff that they got here is probably the way they make fucking Coca-Cola, the same way they make the liquor they got here. So apparently, Sister Deborah had turned around and bought 2 bottles of the Bacardi. I think it stayed up there about 3 months and they didn't drink a drop. But yet this disappears in days. They really sip it down. So apparently, this is the stuff. The spirits really love this Maya's rum, 100% fine Jamaican rum, original dark, and they really love this, and it's kind of high too. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Maya's, M-Y-E-R-S, M-S apostrophe S. Yeah, Maya's rum. Just ask for Maya's rum. You know, you'll see it up there. I mean, it's quite common, but I'm interested. But they love this, and like I said, one night back in September, I was up in there and I was drinking that liquor and shit, and wasn't doing nothing, giving me a buzz, and I said, damn, it's time to go to another dimension. Apparently, I had developed a taste for spitting this rum 4 ways over the summer, and boy, it took me about 2 shots of that baby there, and boy, I was literally on another dimension. Look at here. You got a woman, get you about 2 or 3 shots of this. You get her car keys with the rap you throw down with it. This motherfucker's gonna bring out the whole, you're gonna put your whole heart into it. And maybe she might need that because of the simple fact that sometimes when you go to another level with this particular romance thing, you emit certain hormones and spiritual forces that take it to another level. And see, now I'm beginning to see this stuff that what Sister's been talking about all along. You see what I'm saying? Now, my prior relationship with my sister that left me in June, it was like this. We didn't have to tell each other we love each other whatsoever. But it was, see, there's different types of relationships. We just knew it. It's no different than you know your mama loved you. But we were in sync like this, to the point, and whenever she kicked me to the curb, well, she really didn't do that. I told you the last time, basically, mutual agreement. She said, you know, shit, I was 20 when you met me. Now I'm 27. You 38. So I need to get out and see what the world is like or whatever it is. But anyway, whenever she decided to leave, and we agreed on this type of thing, people all up the damn East Coast just mourned because we were such an item in the damn video. Everybody said, oh, Ginger left him. So the key here was it was really a close bond. And a close bond. But I'm telling you something here now. When your heart chakra opens on another level, and I tapped into this shit immediately after, and she turned around, she said, you know, I'm leaving, and you know it's spiritual. And all that. I didn't know, but when I tapped into this thing immediately after, and I'll go into the stuff later on and stuff, I'm telling you, there's a level that the brothers got to get to And I think the sister's been talking about this shit for years. And I think, I think they said it's almost like you probably don't get but a few males, probably 1 out of a damn 1,000 is really tapped in this level. And with these sisters that are really long into where you give your asshole with no ego whatsoever. You have to literally strip down with no ego whatsoever. It cannot be this particular, you got to get out of this role. It's really got to be the sister's essence, and you got to be one. Now, I've got on this motherfucking level, and I'm telling you, it's another dimension. And I think that is what the sister was talking about, and it's all in the literature we're going to go into today on the last level of initiation, where the male has to get to another level. He has to go through the realm of the goddess. And the only way you can enter that is your heart chakra has to be open, and my shit opened like in July, and I'm telling you, I'm going ahead of myself, and I'm telling you, brothers, there's another level you got to go to, and you got to get rid of all ego to do this shit. And don't you let nobody fool you, because you be scared, saying, no, she gonna front on me if I damn disrobe like this. If you give this sister what she wants on the love level, and I'm talking about psychological, I'm not talking about doggone monetary. You give her what she wants basically on this psychological level of love, you ain't got to worry about shit. She gonna be there. You see what I'm saying? Probably kill up a fucking army of people for your ass. Kill everybody in your damn state. But it's a level you got to go with the sisters and all. We're gonna go into this particular thing also too, and all, because this is literally, and they said this is literally a higher form of consciousness. There's no difference. There's no difference. You got to go to this particular level. I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, going on. We talked about the whole clones thing, and which I'll get into in a few minutes also too, but let me explain something to you what's happening here. Okay, brother? Let me tell you something that's happening here. We got this Alzheimer's disease. What they call it, Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's, or whatever the shit is. Alzheimer's or whatever the shit is. Anyway, your fucking brain run off.
Yeah.
This thing here, there's something going on because it's an epidemic. It's an epidemic going on with this thing. But there's two things that's going on. Number one, it is believed now that basically there is probably no real food left, period. You just got to be serious.
Yeah.
Not unless you go to Tibet and get a chicken and then make sure that chicken is grown. You just don't know. But let's think about it now. Every place in the world is drought.
Yeah.
And in America, we've seen one thing in the 80s, starting in the 80s and the 90s, that the land ain't fertile here no more. But yet the fucking supermarkets are full.
That's right.
On every corner. And man, down in Atlanta, they've got these public supermarkets. They're building them on every corner. They're building, and they in supermarket wards, public, Kroger. They're opening up, but yet, and the supermarkets are full. But yet nobody got no food, no place else on the planet, but we eating well. So that means that we're just saying that every bit of the food is grown in a laboratory. So that could literally be what is making the people brains round, which is Alzheimer's. But on the other hand, there's another thing too. There's another thing too. You got to consider this. Because you have a rise in this so-called quote-unquote disease, or what they're calling it. You got to figure this too. That we don't know how many people, real humans, we have living in the United States.
That's true. That's true.
Now let me explain this to you because they call this the Great Experiment. Remember, now they got Europe. They call this the Great Experiment. Literally. Because the brain is right with this dog Alzheimer's, what you could actually have here is these clones, when they get a certain age, this shit, the brain just rots because it's a clone. And we know this is happening because they cloned Reagan in 81, when they shot him, and now you see Reagan don't know his ass from a hole in the ground. Probably think he black now.
Yes, almost. Go ahead, got a few minutes.
You see what I'm saying? So this means that in actuality, you got to rise in this because you got to rise because, well, let me go through something that's horrifying to me. It ain't much horrifying to me. But it's interesting here because this lines up with something else that started happening to me starting the first of the month. Now, when the movie Fallen came out with Denzel Washington,
Right.
same that movie came out, our apartment got broke into. Now it's interesting because we used to have these pigeons used to come and they would sit in the tree, and it could be snowing, it could be raining, they would just sit in that tree. And I said, either these shits is wooden or they dead or something's going on. But it would be a whole bunch of them, it'd be a white one in the middle. And they sat in the tree for 2 years right outside of our apartment. And then about 1 month they left. And immediately the apartment got broke into, but it was the night after we went to go see the movie Fallen. And apparently the energy in the apartment had gotten so bad until when they left, it was like it's time for you all to move. So the night that it broke into, Ginger was a little upset. She was like, but they didn't take nothing. TV, VCR, fucking microwave, The rent money sitting right there on the thing. They walked right past it. I was like, phew. But anyway, so, which is good. You got, because she got some renter's insurance about a week before. I said, should we sit pretty and shit? We gonna get an automobile from this shit. But anyway, Azazel came. Now you thinking Azazel is actually Tahuti in another language and stuff. You have some rebellion by the time of the Old Testament because Azazel is the God that's over alchemy. And we'll go back into that particular part. And Tahuti is the God of alchemy. But anyway, Azazel came and he said, look, man, you know something that you figured out this summer. And I'm here to tell you that in actuality, what you know of as the black race from the 1960s and the early 70s don't exist no more. They've all been replaced. And I okay, you ready? This explains a lot of things. Because probably the reason why you can't understand why black people ain't getting this thing is because we could all been replaced. And you might be the only people in Cleveland. Well, if you ever believe in anything spiritual, it all stuff always talks about in the last days you might have times that this thing could be this kind of nightmare. Don't think the white boy just been sitting back twiddling his thumbs and all of a sudden he get comfortable. You see what I'm saying? So there's some amazing things that's actually going on here that in actuality he's replacing people every damn hour. And the only reason why you are surviving is because you're advanced souls that they can't mess with because what happens is you have some entities around you, an ancestral link is so powerful that they can't even break through. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is interesting because now they got the whole HARP program, which is this low radio frequency wave, these transmitters they got around here. It can actually modify behavior, and it could be modifying clone behavior. Now, I went to a lecture about 2 weeks ago, and I was damn if nobody showed up. And this was amazing. This was some scary stuff. And some back, they sold 15 tickets. What? And, at least they sold 15 tickets in advance, and the guy said he had a whole study group that didn't even show up. So it's not only you didn't sold tickets to the general public. They had a whole study group that was supposed to come. And nobody showed up. He got so mad, he said, here, man, here go the damn money. And gave me the money. Gave me my honorarium or whatever. Said, here, just take the money, man. I'm so mad at these niggas, but nobody showed up. And we're saying, wait a minute, this is the HARP program where they got these low radio frequency waves, and they're literally shooting down these people where they can't even leave the damn house.
That's right. That's right.
But yet they had the Kings of Comedy last week, and man, they had gridlock for 4 or 5 hours. You would thought it was the end of the world. But the key here is, nobody showed up. This is the first I've been speaking 8 years. Hakeem Bey spoke up in New York. Harlem, 5 people show up. Valentine and the brother Dawood, they speak. 2 people. 15 people show up. what the hell is going on? But there's this heart program, which is, they got this what is that shit, that transmitter? They probably got them everywhere now. They used to talk about this big one they had someplace out west in Alaska or someplace. Low radio frequency waves, and basically they can not only modify the weather, but they can do all kinds of things to humans and modify your behavior. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, it's interesting. This is some stuff that needs to be considered. You see. Very interesting. I mean, so for this thing to work, that means that they got to have a lot of non-humans. And then you got a lot of psychic sisters saying, you know, it's scary because I'm seeing black people now that I don't see no light around them whatsoever. Can't see no aura, no nothing. So obviously there's some major nightmare stuff that's actually going on. You see what I'm saying? That's going on now, which also, like you got this whole now, the black churches get ready to give people AIDS. They get ready to do that now, the AIDS in the black church. Even Jesse Jackson, this fool went and took his AIDS test on TV. You know, take his AIDS test on TV to get Negroes to do that now. You know the whole thing. Whether you believe it exists or not, when you take it, you're going to get something.
Right.
You know? But the key here is they got the black church in on it. That means that they want a mass drive to kill off what they ain't already killed off. Because apparently they have the technology to know who's a clone and who's not, even if they clone somebody, basically by reading your aura. You see what I'm saying? They know who has a soul and who don't have a soul. So the black church is heading up this particular drive, you know, because all of a sudden they're saying, you know, that the black male is the #1 recipient of AIDS. Wait a minute, I thought in '96 you thought it was the black female. Well, goddamn, is this the black male and the black female? Well, what the hell is anybody living? You see what I'm saying? So they just come out with all kinds of stats and shit. Look that, brother.
You got any paperwork on that?
Oh man, there's tons of stuff. Hell, they even had there's tons of stuff on it. Just go on the internet on that one. The black church drive on that whole AIDS thing, they're gonna come. You know, it's interesting. Oh man, I got the note. I swear to God, you got to. Let me see if I got this note. Got it right here. Now, I'm on the bus, the MARTA bus. That's called MARTA, whatever you got down here. It's called Metro Atlanta Transit Authority. MARTA, moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta. Moving Africans rapidly through Atlanta. I'm on now MARTA because, you know, my girl split up. You know, we got the car from insurance and stuff, but she's working a 9 to 5. I'm working on the weekends. Well, you go ahead and take the damn car, so I'm on the bus. And so anyway, I'm on the bus and I'm looking up, and they got the signs up there. You know, they have all of the graphic signs and all on the train of the bus. And I'm looking up, and I see this thing. They got a black guy on a bench, and this white guy beside him. Now, apparently they must be butt buddies or whatever you want to call it. Dookie love, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, they're on the bus. They sitting down, and the grandmother, it must be something in their backyard or something, because the grandmother, this black grandmother is bending over, planting something. And it says, so that's grandmama. She's finding new gardening tips on the internet. So what are you planning, grandmother? This is the black guy talking to his grandmother. I ordered some special herbs to boost the body's immune system. Grandmama, this recipe is a bunch of nonsense. Now, first of all, the only way you can boost the fucking immune system is through herbs and, you know, and a certain diet. This recipe is a bunch of nonsense. There can be serious interactions by mixing herbs and HIV medicine. So first of all, you got to have HIV medicine. That's like say, that's that mindset thing again. This is unheard of. You don't have it. So mixing herbs and well, damn, if a person has got that much sense to go and boost the immune system with herbs, it's going to be an asshole that already know that HIV medicine is a damn no-no. See, this is the mind control they're putting out for them dumbass niggas on the MARTA bus. You see what I'm saying? Now, there can be serious interactions with mixing herbs and HIV medicines. You can't believe everything you see on the internet. Everything on the internet. Then it says stop and report HIV and AIDS. Stop, report HIV and AIDS healthcare fraud. So see how they're attacking this shit? Now they ain't talking about you, the conscious, but they talking about all them ignorant ass niggas out there, which is the masses of us. But they gonna go by what they see what the white man put on that bus. You see what I'm saying? So they're saying that to boost the immune system is nonsense. Because first of all, they don't go along with the goddamn AZT that kills you behind.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And they're directing it towards black people because they even know that we have a history post-slavery where grandmama got busy. We ain't even got to go to all of the new stuff that we're dealing with the Afrocentric organization, with vegetarianism, Laola Africa, healthcare, all this new shit. You know what I'm saying? With Queen Afua and all this type of stuff that we know that the conscious people have been to. We just talking about little old grandmama saying, you know, you need to clean the fuck out, or you need to do something, I need to give you some of this stuff. You see, so they cutting it off at the path what they call the so-called grassroots. They might be able to cure this shit. You see what I'm saying? See how this thing is going? So here it is, grandmama is a fucking idiot all of a sudden. You see? But this is major how they do these things. What's that?
At the end of this year, beginning of next year, they're ready to make it mandatory that they get a vacant two more vaccinations. One of it is the crack vaccine and one of the AIDS vaccine.
Now, first of all, number one, okay, now we know that they can front the AIDS thing because they killed epidemic-wise around the world.
Sure did.
But crack is a social thing that don't even occur in most parts of the damn world and most parts of the damn country. So that means if you're a black person in fucking Wyoming, because you know niggas is out there, you got to get a crack vaccine. So let alone a nigga in Cleveland. You see what I'm saying? But our people are ignorant, and as long as our people are ignorant, it's going to go down. You see what I'm saying? It's going to go down.
White man gonna get
You see? So this is some stuff.
Can't even tell my relative.
Let's go down. Let me go on. So you got, we're going through the order of the day as far as, you know, we always start off and we have to deal with what's happening right now in the country. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's go on. So you got your Israel uprising. You got the bombing with the doggone boat the other day. You got this whole presidential deception race thing. And you better believe that all this stuff is converging all at the same time. Because there's something that's going down that they don't want you to be a part of, and they lock you out with foolishness.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So even with this thing here, with the boy from Philadelphia 76ers put out the rap album, they said the same shit that every other rapper has said, but yet he being vilified. But then I see it coming, and they're not comparing him with the John Rocker thing, with that guy. And so they got all that's all locked in, as well as a whole bunch of stuff. And this is always around this time of the year. Going into November and December, they spread this deception, and they got some stuff locked in. You see what I'm saying? Because this is going into Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, the whole Thanksgiving thing, in which I told you the other day that up under these holidays is some real serious energy based on winter solstice, summer solstice, spring equinox, fall equinox, new moon, blue moon, you know, whatever. All types of things. Retrograde this and retrograde that, and all that shit is a part of things. And so therefore they can feed your mind something else. You see what I'm saying? They can stop this thing, you see. They can stop this thing. So this is some stuff. Do you know the word mortgage? Anybody look up that word mortgage? What does it mean?
Mortuary.
It means death.
Yep,
you see?
Has nothing to do with payment.
Do you know Korea is slavery?
Yeah.
All of these types of things, you see,
They're dead.
now it's interesting because in this book here, that I talked about this the last time, your own body's natural wonder drug, melatonin. In this book, and I don't know why they didn't get the page, they talked about in this book, they gave a list of all the appliances that would reduce melanin.
Microwaves.
And, no, it ain't, now that's obvious. Shit. That's obvious. What they're saying here, that damn near everything in your house, you see what I'm saying, reduces melanin. So that means what the white ball has done is he's literally made a civilization that is not even conducive to black people.
Exactly.
The entire civilization, all the way down to the core,
Yep.
electric toothbrush.
We buy it.
See what I'm saying? Or some little battery you put on there, you know, with a little crown and shit, with a little nose light up. Some little button you got on your shit, be fucking your stuff up.